Hey guys, and welcome back to Cars vs. Me. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make a aluminum foil go from this to this. As you can see, I painted this one. You don't have to paint it if you don't want to, but I think it looks pretty cool. And I'll show you what you need right now. So you're going to need some clear tape, a hot glue gun, and a couple Q-tips, and the 1/18 car itself. Now you don't have to use this specific model, you can choose whichever you want, but this specific model is pretty easy because it's very rectangular, and I find it to be easier than sports cars and other cars that are more smooth and have different forms of shapes rather than rectangular. All right, so when you start off with we'll start off with the aluminum foil. What you want to do is you want to grab it, pull it, and then you want to fold it, make it as smooth as possible. You want to fold it. And I also recommend gloves because gloves protect you from the aluminum shavings. Sometimes the shavings, they have sharp pieces, and that's why I use gloves, but you don't have to. All right, and then I'm gonna give it another fold. Now this piece is gonna be for the actual ABC frame, which is this part of the model. I'll show you what you can do with the excess right now, but just try and keep it as smooth as possible so it doesn't get wrinkly. All right. And when you get it right here, the first thing you want to do is you want to try and get the actual outline of the model. And when you start off at the middle point because that's the easiest part to start tracing. We're doing a technique called foil tracing, which is where you take the foil and you're like stamping it in place. This can take a while, so you just have to be patient. And also, when there's some severe indentations in the body, what you want to kind of do is you want to start pressing it in so that the foil doesn't break apart. And start stamping in place. And if it rips a little bit, it's okay. It doesn't really matter that much. You're going to reinforce it later on with more aluminum foil. And this is what the Q-tip is for. The Q-tip is so you can actually trace the foil, and the cotton makes it easy for the foil to slide. I also forgot to mention, if it's a model that you really like, you should probably cover it with clear wrapping so that it doesn't, scratch the paint or anything. But since I don't really care that much about this model, it doesn't really matter to me. Just go over it a couple times. And then once you have the general outline of the model, start moving it around and tracing. Try and get it as straight as possible. And it does take a while, so you have to be a little patient. And then once you have the general shape, what you want to do is you want to try and fold the sides a little bit so that it doesn't move as much. Sometimes you have to change the Q-tip. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know, just get as much wrinkles out as possible. It's never going to be perfect, but see, mine ripped a little bit there, but it's okay. It's okay. Just a little tiny rip. The outline is pretty much done. What I need. In this step of the process, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cut it out with an X-Acto knife either way. I forgot to mention that. And you want to just get it as close as possible to the places where the aluminum is going to be. As I mentioned, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna cut it out, and then we're gonna once again press it on the body so that it gets that shape again, and it looks better. And this is where the gloves come in handy. Sometimes these jagged edges, they get stuck in your hands and it's not fun. Put that to the side. Before you cut it out, I'll just make sure that it's close. And at this point, you can pull or push it in, push these edges in, so that you kind of get a baseline for how it's gonna look. You can straighten these out. Good. And just push that in. Doesn't have to be, 100% because this is going to be covered by doors anyway later on. But these like panels, and try and get those as straight as possible. So those are going to be visible. Just try and get them as straight as possible. Now, this is a lot easier with the right car. If you have a really like curvy car, then this is not really ideal. It still can be done, just takes more time, takes more patience. I mean, even then, this takes a while. Once you're satisfied with how it looks, that's the first panel done. Now this one's one of the more stronger panels because it has the A, B, and C pillars. So I try to get the most out of this panel that I can so that the car doesn't destroy as easily in terms of up to the roof line. Alright. You could also use the X-Acto knife, but I prefer scissors when doing this. And remember, we're going to stamp it on again just as a final stamp. So now, carefully take it out, and if you just take it out slowly. And you can save these extra strong foil pieces for later. We're going to use them later on to make the C-frames. Okay. Now the final stamping, we'll just pop it on there. Sometimes these little edges like to get stuck. Make sure that those are fine. Just place one. That's what it's gonna look like. So I just lift. And now you just repeat that on the other side. Same backwards. In the meantime, you want to store this somewhere safe. We'll just skip to the roof. And for the roof, I like to use 2 layers. Not as many as the A, B, and C frames. Oh well. So you take that, and you stamp it in place. If you're gonna do it without gloves, just be careful. Especially with the thicker frames, as they tend to carry more strength in the edges. And just careful with these. I believe this model has an antenna, so you just have to be careful, and if it rips a little bit, that's alright. It's not really a big deal. And because the roof is a little bit more complicated on my model, I'm only going to stamp it once, but if your model is pretty easy, then feel free to do multiple stamps like how we did with the other frames. Alright, just gonna do this. cutting out this piece. When cutting the foil, just make sure that it's not too close to the edges. Otherwise, you could risk getting too near to the edges and overlapping the foil with the frame. It's not gonna look good. Okay. So now, I'm just gonna do the interior areas of the frame. A little bit of time. Just stamp that up. Now you're ready to. Oh, just forgot. Final cut right here. Not to rip the actual foil in the areas where you want it. That is somewhere in the general area where you want it. Feel free to start cutting. That's about where I want it, so I'm going to start using the scissors. Right up here. And save this because you can use it later on for the C-frames. Okay, now make this area. Just cutting it. Remember, because this is 2 layers of aluminum, just be careful not to bend it too much because this is way more fragile than the other 4 layers that we use for the frame. And naturally, actually, I take it back. We can do a slight minor stamp just so that those mistakes or those errors that happen with the foil, because this foil is so delicate, and re-stamp it. That'll be harder than it is. So now after this comes perhaps the most difficult part of making these cars. I'll turn this around. Actually, you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the glue gun, put the roof upside down, grab one of the sides of the frame. So now this is what it should look like. Make sure you don't put it on backwards. Now this is gonna be the frame that's coming up next. So now what you do is you grab the frame and you're gonna join it to the roof. This may look easy enough, but trust me when I say it's a little challenging. So put that layer of glue. Actually, yes, I did. Because it sticks to that. Maybe paper. There's a surface that doesn't stick to hot glue. And you start putting it in. Now, as for this, I want to try and get it in there. Okay. Now, just for the final. You don't have to worry about that. You can put that later on. Now I just gotta put the final. Final touch right here. And we're gonna reinforce this with C-frames later on. But this is just in general the first step. Okay. Now that that one's in place, we can move on with the second one. This one. Just gotta be careful with that. Very gentle. It does take patience. Sorry, my phone died. So anyways, what I've done here so far is I simply got one of these and then I folded it as 4 layers, as how we did in the beginning, and I simply cut it out to the bottom piece of the frame, also including some of the firewall on the top. Okay. So now what I've been working on is I've been working on C-frames. Now the C-frames, they're pretty easy in the sense that all you have to do is you have to grab some of the scraps that you saved. We're going to use these scraps, this one, to make a more structurally sound, rigid something have something that has a flat edge, you want to use it to basically shape out the C-frame. How you do that is actually, this may be a little too small, too weak to be a center frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to shape it up to be a B frame, a B pillar. So you grab this, and you want to do it. So you want to get a flat surface on your flat edge, put it on top, and lift the sides, so. Put it that, and then start moving it side to side, like so. And just a side note, you want to put the center frame, which is the frame, like the pillar that goes in between the B pillar, before you actually put the B pillar itself. So the center frame goes in first, and then you hot glue it, and then you put in the B frame, the B pillars next. It's just this one you have to cut it out a little bit. So this one's B pillar, just because it's too big. And the smaller scraps, these you can just throw away. Again, I do apologize for my camera. So this is what I have so far. I have two B pillars that are C frames, and what you're going to do is you're going to get the center frame, and this is what's going to be inside the vehicle, inside the B pillar. You're going to put it right there, and then these are going to go on the sides, kind of like acting like extra protection, and you're just going to put them on top once they're inside, and then you just glue them to the sides of the frame, and that will be it for the B pillar. And then as for the firewall, which is the front part right here, you're going to put one C frame right here in between the A pillar. Before I do that, I'm going to actually make the center frame, the center pillar. For that, adjust it. Okay. Then you're gonna fold it so that's extra strong, and that's what's gonna be inside the frame. Flat edge. Something that I want to mention with this one, you want to actually make it so that it's pretty big, pretty long. So just go this. Make sure that it's pretty big. Just keep in mind that this has to be one of the stronger pillars, center frame, because it's a center frame pillar. So it has to be able to withstand some tremendous pressure. So this is about 6 layers, but just keep in mind that the other side is a little more. It's like 8. So it's like 6 to 8 layers is fine, depending on how rigid you want the structure. So now we get to glue it inside. Now this is one of the trickier parts, so this is why you want to wait to put the other piece of foil inside the frame, so you can be able to do this. Basically, you put the center frame where the B pillar is. It can be a little tight squeeze. Open. cut off a little bit of the excess, which is fine. Just reshape it. You got it pretty close to where it's supposed to be, which is right there. Just a little closer for the camera. That's how it's supposed to look in between the B pillar. Now, if this was like a sports car or something, the way it would work is that the center, the A pillar and the C pillar would be reinforced. So it would be just maybe a couple more C pillars between the doors. Right here and right here. Okay, so now we'll start to glue it together. Like that. There we go. Next one, next side. Also worth mentioning, the more C pillars you add, the more structurally rigid the structure will be. Right. Now I'm going to add the B pillars. And the way you do that, grab one of these, make sure that the side where it's facing down, like this, is going to be on the inside, so it's going to be like that, and this is what's going to be facing on the outside. So something like that, but inside. Okay, so grab that, put it inside. And now push it down. Make sure that it fits something like so. Then you're just going to glue it. And I already glued some parts of it, you're just gonna have to go through the sides. So moving on. And let's see right here. So just wait for that to dry a little bit. Grab the other B color. And it's at this point too where if you want to make some minor body changes, like maybe working out some of these dents a little bit by hand, you can do that right now. So they don't show as much. Okay. So this is what we have so far. Now add the firewall C-pillar. Just a little more. And then just shape it again. Alright. Okay. Before you put on this firewall one, you want to make sure that it's as even as possible, because once you put this one on, it basically seals the way that the frame is going to be in terms of size. Right. Just put it this way. It should be good right there. Final one, put the final C-frame in the back. This was just to give some structural rigidity to the rear panels so that they're not moving about as much. And that one goes down facing down like so. Just glue it. So this is what we have so far. Actual piece of the firewall to the front of the car. Just cut it up and shape it. Okay, something like that. Just cut out these corner pieces a little bit so that they're not sticking out, like so. And now we're going to glue this to the A pillar, the C pillar that's in the front, like so. Now just add this glue right there, so that's sealed off. Okay. That's basically the frame done. I think just gotta be careful with this. There's a couple more things, like for the A pillar you can add, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add another C pillar. Forgot to. little bit, like so. Oh. I also forgot to add the frame for the, what's it called? The bottom to this right here. So we're gonna add that right now. Just do that as well. Might as well make it a double. Like that. A little strength. Put it right here. Like so. Something like that. Just okay, something like that, and glue it on the other side. Just add a little layer at the back, like that, and just to finish it off, so cover this. Can leave these for the doors. And just use something like this. Something like that. Just to cover it. I'm just going to super glue, hot glue this to the sides a little bit. Now, the only thing that this frame is missing is Let's Mason a lot. All right, now I'm making the roof structures. And the way you do that is grab scraps, make it flat, and you just fold it a little bit. And I forgot to add these. There's a couple things I forgot to add, and I'll mention them right now. Just fold them like that, and then cut them out. So these are roof structures. They help with the roof rigidity. So now I'm gonna put these in there, and should have done that earlier. All right. So I'm gonna put one right here, which is under the right there, slightly smaller around there, and it's gonna be right there, like so. Can't see that. Like that. And I'm just gonna glue it. It just helps a little bit with the structural rigidity. And that one is gonna go in this pillar right there. Just gonna put it like so, right? Just gonna put it like that. Just glue it in, so it'll help keep the structure at least a little more rigid. All right, that's that. And we still need to make the frames for the C frames for the front A pillar. Just gotta do those real quick. Flat edge. So now the next step would be making the doors and the actual parts that break. A little bit off camera is I just added 2 more C-pillars to the front firewall there. They're just 1 layer pieces of aluminum to help kind of make a base for the front bumper and the side fenders. Okay. First, let's start with the doors. So for the doors and the fenders and the hood, I like to use 1 layer of aluminium to make it seem like a bigger crumple zone. Take the general shape of it. Like that. So you put that right there. And I need the clear tape. So you grab a piece of the clear tape, put it on the foil, and then on the foil to the window, and all that does is it helps you be able to move the foil without actually having the foil move on you. So then you just start stamping the foil in place. And it's basically the same process for the 4 doors, you just do that. Now it's not perfect. Alright, something like that. And you just you can do this with the hand or with the Q-tip. It all depends on your personal preference. Sometimes it's easier with the Q-tip, it gets off those nasty wrinkles. Well, it's not going to be perfect. Alright, once you have the general shape, you just cut the excess. You just rip it out a little bit, piece by piece. Just being careful not to rip any of the corners. Okay, once you have it, you very carefully pull it out without damaging it. And you want to grab it from the center, and then just cut off the excess foil. And you do this with all 4 doors. I'll just give you one more example with the front door. Something like that. Grab another piece of tape. Just put it on top. Oops. Put it on top and then start shaping the item. The hood and the bumpers. Oh, and the fenders. So now, grab this, that side, so looking like that. And then the same as the body panel, you're gonna cut it out. So that's pretty much it for the fenders. Cut it out. And then you just put it on the body and then you restamp it. Like so. And that's the fender. And then you just repeat that on the other side. Now it's time to do the hood. You just grab a piece that's about the size of the hood, and then you just do that stamping. This one's fairly easy since it's mostly flat. So it's just a matter of stamping it in, getting that shape. Like that, and then you just cut it up. So now it's time for the bumper. As you can see, I cut out a piece of aluminum. That's one layer. One layer for all of these, for the doors, for the hood, for the fenders, for everything. That's supposed to crumple more easily. So we're gonna start stamping this in. Extra caution. And then this would be the same stuff for the bumper. So I'm not gonna do that, but it's the same steps really, just a different part. May have cut too small, so I have to do it like that. Yeah. Too small. And that's basically it. Once you have everything, the front bumper and the doors, all you do is you glue it together, which I'll demonstrate right now in a couple minutes, and you have yourself a car. Just cut this up. Doors. Actually, let's start off with anything, but I like to start off with the doors and fenders. But first, we'll do this fender right here. Add some hot glue right here in the portion where we have, and add the fender right there. Right there. And now we just add some extra glue. Extra hot glue right there. And that's one fender. Can add the doors already. That's one. And the second one is right here. This door's slightly deformed. Go ahead and stamp it. That's that. Now we do the other side. The other fender. And the other door. Now we just need the hood and the bumper.